Hey there, welcome to this live show. We are live with our tech show today at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1900 hours UTC. So you have joined the live tech show number 39. This is our live show where we answer your questions. We are Tuesday, June the 28th, 2016. And where do you send your questions? At the email you see here, helpwithyourcomputers@gmail.com. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. This is our last show for this season. We are taking a break, so we'll be back on August 16th, where we will, of course, answer your question once again for another full season of computer shows, and hopefully we'll have a few announcements coming this August, a few new items and new things are going to happen. I would like to stress out just for everybody that if for any reason the stream stops, it could be normal because we're having a very strong line of thunderstorms coming through. So there's lightning, thunder, high winds outside, and it's a very hot day today. It's like I've got the fan going on like maximum speed on me because the air condition is only in the bedroom here. And so it's hot, muggy, and there's strong thunderstorms. They've just published a weather alert for Montreal. So if you lose the feed, that means a thunderstorm won. And let's hope that it's going to hold on and hold up on this live tech show. So you are watching, my name is Gilles, you're watching this live tech show. It's every Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 1900 UT. This comes to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And my job is a tech guy. So I go to clients and fix their computers. And of course, I offer this service to you on live shows every week. Hope you enjoy today's show. Donations, I help you in any way. There's, anything that you like. Maybe you like following me, like the news bulletins every day. It takes a lot of time to prepare. The time I take to do this is time I don't dedicate to my tech guide duties. So I don't get paid, or almost. I do get paid by YouTube monetization, but it's, not like tech guide duties. So if you like what I do, if you want to improve upon what I'm doing, hey, please consider a PayPal donation. It's really, really, really important, and it keeps the show on the air. And of course, when we'll be back in August, many things will have changed. Don't worry, everything stays free. It's just that I'll have new tools. I'll have a website, and we'll have different things happening. And hopefully, also this fall, I hope to have new shows also. So, your PayPal donations help me do that. They help me continue, they help me improve, and they help me, do videos every day, something that I really, really like. Thank you for all of those that donated. It's very, very welcome. You don't have to give a lot, even $1. If you only have $1 to give, it's fine. And if you can't give, I totally understand that also. The idea here is that I don't want to have something that is subscription based. I don't want to have something that, if you don't pay for it, you won't have the content. I don't like that way of working. I really want to try to have this free for everybody. So donations will help me do that. So thank you in advance. So let's start with the questions. Lots of questions. I think everybody kind of panicked a little bit saying, hey, he's going on vacation and I need to have my question. So the first questions we have is about Windows Vista. We don't hear a lot about Windows Vista because there's not that many people that still have Vista on their computer. First of all, a question that comes from Mike. Mike says that he's got Windows Vista. And he says, first of all, is it true I cannot go to Windows 10 and have free upgrade with Vista? So answer to that first question, unfortunately, it's true. And you know what? I'm sad because I think there should have been a free upgrade to Vista. You know what? There's just a small number of people. Maybe the reason that I would think that they probably didn't include Vista is because the age of the computer starts to really be far back. Vista did appear 2 years before 7, so that pushes computers' age with Vista to computers that are close to 10 years old. And I think that is the main problem. They said, well, 10-year-old computer, that's starting to really be a very long time. So I think that's the reason why. So unfortunately, you can't have a free upgrade to Windows 10, and that's the sad part for Windows Vista. Another question, because we have Stephen Mail, that is Steve Mail in Aurora, Colorado, that is tweaking his system, and now he's working with trying different operating system, and he found a Windows Vista with a key, and he tried it, and it worked on his computer, and he's installed that finally. So a few questions here about that. First of all, he wants to know what are some of my favorite software in the late 90s. Wow, you know what? I remember in the late 90s, one of the software I used a lot because it was cool back then was Real Player. I remember Real Player in the late 90s was cool because Real Player had video, and the Real Video format had one very unique feature, is that even for very low-speed internet, Real Player could show you live video feeds. And it was kind of the first live video feeds you could have. And the reason is it had some kind of codec that really, really compressed a lot the video. So it was one of my favorites back then. Real Player was my main media player, basically, which is not today. Today, I stay far from it. There's too much garbage coming with Real Player today. But it still exists. It still exists. Real Player still exists. Another software that I remember I used a lot was Encarta. You were mentioning Encarta. That was cool. That was a Microsoft encyclopedia, and I remember using that a lot. I remember having Microsoft Works, which was their free or very low priced word processor. I remember the first, one thing that comes to mind is my first HP computer that had a CD burner. That was something new. I had a CD burner in my HP computer in 1999. Cost me a hell of a lot of money. I remember that HP computer cost $2,600 in 1999, but it was state of the art. It had the latest stuff on it, and I remember my first CD, my first music CD that I burned was just incredible. And I remember using Nero burning software back then. These are some of the software I've used. Concerning another thing that you're waiting for that you should not, you say you're waiting for Surface Pack 3 for Windows Vista. It doesn't exist. Don't search for Vista Surface Pack 3. There is not such a thing as Surface Pack 3. I know you will encounter a lot of people talking about that on the internet. There's no Surface Pack 3 for Vista. You've got 2 Surface Packs, and then you've got a bunch of updates. That's the way it is with Windows Vista. There was no Surface Pack 3, and there will not be any Surface Pack 3. Keep in mind that Vista is being phased out for the security updates next year. 2017 is the date, the official date that it's stopping. For some of the software, because you said you tried to install software and it said that it couldn't, it was missing updates. One of the things you need to be careful with Windows Vista, the core of Vista and the core of Windows 7 is very similar, to a point where a lot of software think Vista is Windows 7. So some of them that do not do a check will come up with, oh, well, you're missing some updates. And that's because it thinks you're in 7, but you are in Vista. So don't wait for Service Pack 3. There isn't such a thing for Windows Vista. Just be careful with that. As for the shows that I've been doing, I of the Windows Vista, actually, the for the live tech show that I'm doing here, the all the answers, questions and answers are available from the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. What's missing for shows on YouTube was the Learn the Tech show, the first Learn the Tech show, which was done on the other channel. These are missing because the channel was banned. So Learn the Tech shows, the first 3 or 4 Learn the Tech shows are not available. But the questions and answer shows, the 39 shows are all on the this channel. Actually, I'll take the time later today and tomorrow to put them in the playlist to make sure that everybody can access the playlist of all the 39 shows while I'm on vacation. A lot of you have been expressing your stress and your sadness at me taking my vacation. But I gotta say, guys, it's something that I really need. Lately, I've been kind of overwhelmed by all the work that I have to do, and it's kind of taken me a little down. So I have to, take that time to take me a little more time to do what I want, and also think of new ideas for the future. You say your temperature is 37 Celsius. Wow, that's hot. 30, it's about 30 here today, which is about 87, 86 Fahrenheit, 87 Fahrenheit. So thanks for the question. And we have another question that I hear very often, the differences with Vista and 7, because people don't understand why they don't see anything basically in the difference in general. You know what? Windows 7 is Windows Vista. That you all have to remember that. Windows 7 is Windows Vista fixed of all of its flaws. So it's the same core and it's pretty much the same operating system. It's just that Windows 7 has, of course, new features that were added, and it is still going to be available till 2020 at least. So depending on the amount of people that are going to watch, to keep the operating system probably. Hope that you enjoy our shows, everyone. We have Bill giving me a nice little email. Thanks, Bill, for the email. Was enjoying. He enjoys the videos, and he found it cool to see my Fender guitar last week. And he's had a band called the Roadrunners, and went on tour all over Quebec. That name brings me something. I'm not sure if I think I've might have seen or heard stuff from Roadrunners. That kind of clicks in my head about something. So thanks for sharing. It's always nice. Yeah, big music fan. I've always been a very, very big music fan. So part of things I love doing. We've got a message from somebody whose first username in his email is Big Baby. Why does Windows 10 show double drive letters when I do my computer over? It does the same thing in all my computers. I'm not sure I understand quite what you mean showing double drive letters when you do my computer over. Is it when you're formatting or something? Maybe it is because your drive is partitioned. I don't know. I'd like to have a little more detail on that because I'm not really sure what to answer to that question. If you're watching live, why not send me a little email explaining a little more clearly exactly what you mean? And thanks for watching. So what else do we have here? We have, of course, oddities that are related to Windows 10. A few questions here. So the first question coming from Isabel. Isabel says that she sometimes sees an icon that says that she's not connected to the internet, and she is. And she was just wondering if something is wrong with her computer or not. It's a known kind of bug in the in Windows 10. There's something happening in Windows 10 with that. It's like the Bluetooth tile. You might not even have Bluetooth on your computer, but it's going to be turned on. And, you know, there's no Bluetooth, so it's kind of weird. So basically, it's some of the few little weird details that, from what I see, seems that it's going to be fixed in the anniversary update coming up. Another question coming from Ben. Ben says that he's seen that all of his security updates are installing in Windows 10, but he's got two drivers. One for his Ethernet adapter. He's also got another one, which is for his Realtek audio. And he says these always do an error every time they try to install. Yeah, you know what? Windows 10, they've kind of tried to have the drivers update through the Windows update in Windows 10, and it doesn't seem to work very well. I've had that happen to me also. I even had a driver install, and it was an incorrect driver for my computer. So it gives you an idea that there's some kind of bug going on with that. And you know what? I wish they would not push driver updates through Windows updates. I don't think that's a good idea, and it seems to have too many problems right now. So what you could do is go into your device manager, so you can, you know, right-click on the start button on the bottom left, go into the device manager, and in the device manager, look at what is the drivers that you have on your computer, and from here, you know, maybe check out if there's an update online by yourself, or if you have a brand computer, an HP, a Compaq, a Lenovo, a Toshiba, a Dell, whatever. Go to the manufacturer's website and try to find the latest drivers for your machine. I think that's going to be better. And if you have an updated driver that is more recent than the one it's trying to download, it's probably going to stop annoying you with that. Or else, just ignore it. As long as your security updates are done, doesn't matter that much, okay? One question that comes from Frank. Frank is in Tampa Bay, Florida. He's a follower of many of my channels, and he says, love my videos. The question he's got is that he's upgraded one of his computer to Windows 10. And what happens is that his computer, he can't find, there's nothing in the documents and pictures folder, and it's going a little crazy here. You know, that's why I always say, before you upgrade, you should always back up your files. You know, that's the stupid thing about the forced upgrade of Windows 10 with Microsoft. No backup. It doesn't even say you should back up your stuff before, you know. I could see that if you would lose some really important files, suing Microsoft for huge amounts of money. I can tell you that. Basically, what's happening is that you probably have, because in some cases, when you upgrade and keep files, something prevents Windows from like putting the files back where they are. So what it does, it creates a folder on your C drive called windows.old. And that windows.old folder is contains all the old files that you had. So check it out, windows.old, and you should go in there. You should see a username, and you should have access to all your folders, and your files are probably all there on your computer. I'm pretty sure about that. So that's that should be there. I really think it should be there, basically. One little comment here I have from Tim Pritchard saying, yes, this is a problem of reformatting PC. I always have this problem, but there's a video called USB drive appearing twice in navigation pane of Windows File Explorer, and create restore point, and this will solve the problem. So there's apparently something happening with the USB drive appearing twice. Duplicated hard drives in Windows Explorer, Windows 10 fix. Apparently this is the video you have to search for, and thanks to Tim Pritchard, it's duplicated hard drives in Windows Explorer, Windows 10 fix. So apparently something happens sometimes with that. Kind of interesting to see. Thanks, Tim, for sharing this with us, and I hope it helps our friend here that had duplicate drives, basically. Questions. So we have, first of all, Ismael Massa says, thinking about saving more internal memory. Here's my question. I do own an external hard drive in which I have the original backup, but that was like a year ago. I have newer pics. Is there a way to check what was there before the new files? Here's the thing. The best way, you know what, if you want to do a backup, because now you've a year-old backup, you've got new stuff, you know what, I would consider just restart the backup from scratch because it's better like that. But consider using in Windows something called file history. File history. If you go into your settings, you've got a thing called file history. And file history, you can add your hard drive. And what's cool is that that will back up everything automatically. You won't have to think about it. When you plug it in, it knows what you will have already backed up, and it will back up the new stuff. It will back up the stuff that's changed. And it's better to work like that than using, you know, like doing a backup once a year. And here you'll have the great thing of having a backup that's always up to date, that you don't have to think about. So file history, remember that in Windows 10, I believe in Windows 8 also, with file history, you'll be able to plug your hard drive and have it backed up automatically. That's the best thing that you can do, for sure. Backup automatically, like I said, best thing. You know, there are some software, because some people will say, well, there's software out there that can actually tell you which files you have and you don't, and so on. Yeah, but you know, it's too complex. It's much simpler to just restart a backup from scratch and use file history. You'll have backups, regular backups. And finally, we have also a question coming from Marion. I hope I pronounced it right. Marion says that he wants to understand something. He says a friend of his told him that he should do a ghost backup. What does that mean? He says it's the best backup I can do. Okay. Here's the thing. A ghost refers to a product called Norton Ghost, and there's different products that do the same thing. It's creating an image of your full hard drive into something else. DVDs, thumb drives, hard drives. Now, what is a ghost or a complete image backup? It has one advantage. It's that it's a complete system that's backed up. Meaning, if you do it now, and in 2 weeks you are having a problem, you could use that, and your computer would be exactly like it is today. It would have the same programs, the same files, the same thing, exactly like it is today. It is like taking a snapshot or a picture of your computer at a certain time and just, putting it away. And if you want to come back, you can use that. And that's good for specific items. And I'm going to tell you the good and the bad of this. The good side of this, I'd say for systems that are very complex to build up, take a lot of time. One of the good things about this is what you could do is, for example, install Windows 10. Then you install your drivers that make it work well. You install your favorite programs. And starting there, you could do a ghost or an image. And that image means that instead of reinstalling Windows and the drivers and the programs every time you want to reinstall, you can use the image and reinstall the exact same system already with all the drivers and the programs. So that's good for that. The bad thing about it is it's quite long to do. It's very long to do. It's long to put back. And you got to think that if your ghost is 6 months or a year and a half old, you're now left with an image of, yeah, your favorite stuff with software that's outdated, drivers that are outdated. And so you almost need to do a ghost from time to time to keep up with all the new stuff, the updates of the drivers and the updates of the operating system and so on. So there's a good side and a bad side. The good side is, of course, when it's not too old, it's a fast way of coming back because you just have your image put back there and everything's there and it works. You don't have to, okay, I've installed Windows, now I need to go and check out the drivers and I need to check out which programs I had. But it's not a good idea to do a ghost for kind of a backup of your system files. And I mean by that, if you have lots of files on your computer, music, stuff like that, you rather have file history used than a ghost, because I think it's going to be much, much easier to do a backup for files and folders and music and stuff like that. So that's basically the difference. A regular backup will back up your favorite files and stuff like that. A ghost backs up a full system with all your programs. So let's move on to other questions. I'll answer your questions. Just have a little cat here that wants to come over. Hello. He's always interested in my live shows. So here we go. Cat is right here. So let's continue on with more questions. And this is Paul the cat, which is officially my cat, because for those that didn't know the story behind this cat, this is a cat, my neighbor's cat. And this cat started coming over here, and he actually preferred staying here than basically going to my neighbors. So my neighbor moved away 4 days ago, and the cat, she gave me the cat. She said, look, the cat loves being with you. He's always, with you. When he sees you outside, he starts running. And it's true, when I come home sometimes, he's outside and he starts running to come towards me. So she said, the cat loves you, and I think you should have the cat. So she gave me the cat. So this is Paul, is the original name that she had given this cat, and just love this cat. He's a really nice cat, can tell you that. Okay, let's continue on with our questions as Paul the cat is making himself comfortable. So what else do we have? Let's check it out. We have email questions. So first of all, we have Stephen Mail that talked about a weird email that he's received, and there's a few people that I want to, that have a question regarding that, regarding basically some of the popular email scams that are happening. So basically, I'm just going to check here. So he's Stephen Mail here is talking about his email. So so cool. He's explaining a little bit how he's got. He could have been scammed if he wasn't careful. He's got email and that had a zip file in attachment to download and so on. So yeah, it's a very, very popular scam. And congrats on your early retirement. Really cool. Here's the thing. Some of the scams that I've seen very, very popular lately. Be careful about UPS, USPS, US Postal Service, or in the UK, the Royal Mail. Any package delivery email. Hey, you've got a package. Click here and click on the basically on the attachment where there's a bill or information about your package. That is a scam. You don't have emails from delivery. They usually have tracking, yes, but the tracking, you go on a website, you enter the tracking number to get the information. You don't get anything like that. So be careful. This is a scam. Another scam, your bank account has been deactivated, your credit cards, your bank account has a problem, everything's frozen, whatever. Be very careful. That also is a scam. You know what? If you have that on your email and all you have to do, go into your account directly, call the bank, go to the bank. Don't click any links on any of these emails. Don't download any attachment files. Very important. And one of the very popular ones, and I just got one from this week. Hey, we're going to close down your Yahoo Mail. Hey, we're going to close down your Hotmail. And you got to click here if you want this to stay open. No, fake. This is also a scam. Remember that if you use your email all the time, they know you're using it. They're not going to close it down. Yes, they can shut down emails that are not used for many, many months, but they are not going to do that. And don't click any links. Don't answer any emails concerning that. It's very, very important to not fall to this. Not fall to this scam. There's a lot of these scams, and man, this is basically one of the some of the biggest problems you get with all of that. So no delivery stuff, no banks, and don't worry, they won't close your email down. That's not anything to be scared of. It's a known scam very, very often. So for sure. What else do we have? More email questions. Question from Ben once again. Ben says, I've got a Gmail that I haven't used for over 6 months. And the question that comes to mind, I wanted to leave it there, and if I ever want to use it again, I'll use it eventually. Does a Gmail email ever expire? Yes, it does. If you are not using a Gmail, a Yahoo Mail, or a Hotmail account, there is an expiry time. what happens is when you log into these services, you get, of course, a kind of a counter reset. So basically, you log into your Hotmail or your Outlook account, and it knows. But if you don't, after a fixed amount of time, and it depends on each service, some are 6 months, some it's a year, but after a certain amount of time that you don't use it, they will usually do 2 steps. They will either just, first of all, deactivate it. And when you try to log in, they're going to say, well, we deactivated this account because it was not used. Do you want to activate it again? And if they deactivate this account, after a certain time, they will actually remove it. So meaning that the email will not be good anymore. So my general idea here is, if you have an email you don't use often, especially a Gmail, Yahoo Mail, stuff like that, simply log into it once a month. Don't even have to do anything. Just go into your account and log out. And it's going to simply give you some kind of activity, and it's going to say, okay, that person is using the email. It's okay. We have another question here from Will. Will says, hello, I love your shows. Here's the thing. I have an Hotmail account that I can't get into. I've lost my password, and I don't know what to do. I've clicked the recover password option, and it asks questions or does things that doesn't seem to work. Is there a way to actually get my account back? Here's the thing. If you have an Hotmail account, and this is good for pretty much every online email, Hotmail, Gmail, and so on. One of the things that can help you recover an account is all sorts of little details like personal questions, a phone number so it can send you a secret code. There's all sorts of details that can be used, and now alternate email address. If you have a problem getting into the account, look carefully at the steps. It will tell you the steps that it can. If for some reason you've done an email address, some people do that. They do a Hotmail or a Gmail, and everything they enter is false. Then they get into, oh, I forgot my password a year and a half after, and they can't get it back because they don't remember what's the answer to the questions. They gave in false information. If that is the case, I'm sorry, but you lost your email forever because you can't get it back. You don't remember any details. In a case where you might be having a problem, so for example, you have an alternate email to recover. One of the things that can happen is, oh, my alternate email isn't working anymore, so I don't have anything to recover. I can't recover it from there, and it's the only thing that you have. That option is, there's one of the questions in the Hotmail and in the emails is, okay, help me recover my account. And they're going to ask you lots of questions about your account. You need to know really well pretty much everything. But you know what? If you've said basically that all the information is false and everything, I'm sorry, but you're just gonna have to use another account. Carol K. Stouffer. Carol, welcome to the show. And she says, dear Mr. G, she's moving from Verizon to Comcast. And Verizon told me I could keep my old email address. But in reality, within less than a week of closing my account, I started to receive server errors. On my Mac, it says server is currently unavailable. Please try again later. And a typical error log, which she shared with me, and I see here, Yeah. This has been going on since the first week of June. Naturally, my old ISP will not help me because I'm no longer a customer. Telephone scammer says they were working for Verizon and tried to convince me my network had been hacked, and he would be happy to transfer. Yeah. It's really cool that you didn't fall for that. That's really, really cool. If you have answer to fix this, would be great because I could transfer the info into the email account that you've created at yahoo.com. Here's the thing. When you move from one internet service provider to another, one of the problems that arise very often is that the ports, because since you have an error with ports, you are using a POP account. So you are using your email with the POP accounts. The POP accounts often don't work on another network. So basically, if you have the POP account there, it doesn't work most of the time on another network. One of the things that I'm curious is that when you change internet service providers, if you don't pay for keeping an email, they usually don't let you continue with that email. So I'm really, really curious if you've got the right answers from the person that at Verizon. I would really check that because that's surprising to me. Most email providers, most ISPs that I've known, you have a certain amount of time. So for example, what a lot of people don't know is that when we pay for internet service, most companies, we pay for the month that's coming. So we're paying in advance. And what happens is when you close down your account and you've paid, you're going to have a certain number of days that your service is still going to work because you already paid for it in advance. So in the worst case scenario, you still got 1 month of everything working because you paid in advance. So your email would still work for that time, but then it would stop working from what I know. So it's kind of, weird. I would see if you can log on to the web side of that account. Usually, when you're on an internet service provider, you can log on via the web page to the email. So if you've got your, of course, your email address and the password used for that email, go to the Verizon page, and there must be a place where it says online email. So click there, and if it's still working, normally you should be able to go there and view your email via the web page. If that works, and if you're able to do that, one thing that I would change in your email, there probably is an option where you can actually set it as an IMAP. So if you can set it as an IMAP, this is better because IMAPs will not use the POP ports that sometimes don't work on other providers. And all you have to do is, when you use your Mac or you use your Windows machine, when you set up the account, if it asks you, is it a POP account or an IMAP account, then you choose IMAP. You change that. IMAP also has an advantage. A POP account downloads the emails and very often erases the emails from the server. An IMAP does not. An IMAP, it's kind of an image of what's on the server. And it answers your second question about your Outlook email. You are converting your emails to Outlook.com. Here's the thing. On Outlook.com, you can simply put the Outlook.com accounts on all your devices. And because Outlook only uses IMAP, normally everything should be synchronized. So you should see the same emails everywhere. The only thing that might be a problem with that is between Mac and Windows, it might be possible that if you erase an email somewhere, that it will still be on the other platforms that you have. That's a possibility. So you might need to sync somehow, especially between Mac and PC. That could be a problem. But between your devices, if you have an iPhone and a Mac, and those should synchronize correctly with the Outlook. The problem will arise mostly between your Windows machines and your Mac. So, and that's not sure. I'm not sure exactly what you could do about that. That could be something interesting to check about. So, if you well, you're in a, you need to talk to Verizon. That's for sure. For the emails and for the things, you know, I don't care. Tell them, you know, who cares? I'm not a customer. I was a customer, and I still need that, and it's very important that I get help with this. Call back. You'll have somebody help you, I'm sure. Somebody will say, okay, we're going to do it. You need to get to. You need to have to talk to Verizon. That's really, really important. Check out what you could do with Verizon. Check out if you can go to the web page, enter your email and password, and have that at least go into the account somewhere. You know, if your email still works, technically you should be able to go to the Verizon page and check your email online. That should work also. So good luck with that, and hope that that it works. But internal server error, I have the impression they've completely, I really have the impression they shut down your email when the account was gone. I really have the impression they did that. Maybe somebody didn't give you the right information. So you know, it's a good thing that with Outlook, Outlook.com, and I'll check out the. I'll send you an email with Outlook.com. I'm going to do tests here with my Mac, my iPhone, and my Windows machine with my own Outlook account, and I'll send you a little email with the tests I've done to try to see if we can synchronize everything, Carol. So I'm keeping your email here, and expect a little something, a little email from me in the next few days. And whatever happens on your side with Verizon and everything, keep me up to date. I want to know what happened here. What else do we have? Yeah, so that's pretty much what we have for email. Question on my videos, and this comes from Asan. Asan is in Greece, and he says that he loves my videos. He's been following me pretty much everywhere I go, the Facebook page, Dailymotion, and also on my other YouTube channels. And this will also answer a question from James Capel. James Capel also has a question about the Dailymotion channel. So this will answer both of you. What happened to the Dailymotion? You know what? What I usually do when I use a platform or a new platform, I try it for a while and see how it goes. And that, you know, after certain times, I have a pretty good idea if it's worth it or not. So to give you guys an idea, because you also asked me why I have a new channel for Windows 10. to give you an idea, my new channel for Windows 10 already makes more money than Dailymotion, and by a large margin. And although it's not, I can't do a living with that because it's still not enough, because it's a small channel, it gives you an idea of how strong the monetization on YouTube is compared to Dailymotion. But one of the things about Dailymotion is that Dailymotion in its monetization actually pays more than YouTube. The problem is the viewing on Dailymotion, having people follow you and view and check out your stuff. It's really complex. There's lots of limitations on the number of videos you can upload. There's limitations on all sorts of little details, the length of videos. So there's so many limitations, and it's just so hard to grow on Dailymotion compared to YouTube that finally I just found that it was a waste of time to continue posting stuff on Dailymotion. So I've stopped posting on Dailymotion because of that. The account's still open. Who knows? Maybe something will change and I'm going to repost again. But for now, I'm taking a break from Dailymotion because it doesn't seem worth it for now. And I'm sure going to check out other venues, other way of doing things to do that. But for now, you know what? That new YouTube channel, Windows 10 channel, is better, and I'm going to continue working on that and trying to grow that channel. As of today, I'm at 370 plus subscribers in a month. It's been maybe a little more than a month that my Windows 10, a month and a half since my Windows 10 channel is open, meaning that I've already getting close to the 500 mark to get my own URL. I think it's going to be a better experience to have that going. And finally, Asan says that on some of my videos, especially the ones that are on the insider previews, I got a bad hum. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, because the headset I use to make the videos, for some reason on some computers, it has a bad hum. And one of the computers that has a bad hum is the Insider Preview machine. Now, the problem with the Insider Preview machine is that I have to leave it plugged in because the battery is pretty much dead. If I could be on batteries, it would remove the hum and comes from the power supply. Last time that I did one, so I did check though, I used my wireless mic. Notice that my wireless mic doesn't do that. So the next previews and the next videos I'll be doing with that, I'll use the wireless mic for that. So I'm sorry about that. On some videos, it is true that I do have a bad hum. And these are things I'm trying to fix. And in this fall, I need to buy a new headset also. So this fall, we're going to try to fix that and have that working properly. But thanks for the information. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? Okay. Douglas Elliott has his son gave him his HP tablet. Has lots of useful software installed. He can add me as a user, but needs to remove his account from the tablet, retaining it on his other laptops. Can he remove his account from the HP tablet without deleting his account elsewhere? Thank you for all your help. You're a great guy. Yeah, what you need to do on the tablet basically is go into the settings on the bottom right, notifications, all settings, and accounts. The first step that you need to do is add a new account. So basically, you'll go here and you will add a Microsoft account. By adding a Microsoft account, make sure that you add an account that is a admin account, not just a user account. Once you've created that admin account, what you're going to do is log out of your son's account itself, go into your account, and because you're an admin, you'll be able to go back and manage your accounts to remove the account. So make sure that you create a admin account. It's very important that the account must be admin. If it's not an admin account, you can't delete the original account because you don't have the privilege. So create a administrator account, go into your administrator account. From there, you'll be able to remove the original account from your son. That should work. And I've done that a few times. Normally works fine. The problem you have is probably because you've created your account, but your account maintained a regular account. It's just an account. It's just a user account. It's not an administrator account. Very important to have an administrator account. If you don't have an administrator account, you cannot remove the other account because you need one administrator account on your tablet. But once that is done, you'll be able to do that. One thing that you can try, you know what? I would try that. He's signed in with his account, you say. You know what? I would go to the user account in all settings. You will see your son's account in the main account. Why not sign in with a local account instead? So this is going to remove your son's from his Microsoft account. Once that is done, go back and say you want to sign in with a Microsoft account again. But this time, instead of using your son's email and password, enter your email and password for your Microsoft account. I think that's going to work. And you'll be in your account with the main account that your son had instead of your son's account. So hope that is clear, but I think that's the way it could be done for sure. We have also a question. I hope that it helped Douglas and that you've been able to move on to do it. Yeah, like Tim Robinson could always do a reset in the tablet, but he seems to say there's a lot of cool software. So maybe he just wants to, keep everything as is and try not. But of course, the other thing that you can do, like Tim says, is go into the all settings, go into update and security. On the left side, you will have recovery. Here, reset this PC. You click the Get Started button. And when you do so, what it's going to do is that you can reset by keeping everything or reset by erasing everything. So it's like this: keep my files, remove everything. And that will reset completely. But I would try that user account thing and see if it works, and keep me updated. Another thing, GT Service says that he uses. We were talking about Ghost to clone a software, to clone a hard drive, and so on. He says he uses Acronis software to clone a drive. In fact, when a hard drive is ready to fail, I make clone. Western Digital has free software for this also. Yeah, I do. I think which one did I use? I use EaseUS on the EaseUS website. One that I like a lot is I'm gonna search it here. EaseUS clone, and here goes. Easy Disk Copy Freeware. It's a free piece of software. I use this one, which is a clone software for hard drives, and it's free and it works great. Easy Disk Copy will copy exactly a partition on another partition, as long as there's enough space. And that I use to create a clone. It's a very good idea to do, of course, a clone of your hard drive when it starts failing or if it starts having problems. That is a great idea, of course, to do so. So really really a cool tip for anybody before it goes bad or anything. Okay, so how to create a user account is very easy. Simply go into the notifications on the bottom, go into all settings, go into accounts. If it's an account for somebody else, what I would consider is on the left side, go into family and other users and click either add family member, or you can go down and say add someone else to this PC and follow the instructions. Remember that if you don't have a Microsoft account or any information, go look down on that page. I don't have this person's sign-in information. You can click. Then you have this that shows up. And you can, of course, at the bottom again say add a user without a Microsoft account and enter the account, and you'll have a new account that's created for your computer. I recommend that if you have one administrator and all the users are simply users, it's safer like that. You want to have viruses. And we have John that says, hi, I have a major problem. I cannot log in to my Windows 10 operating system. I do not use a Microsoft account. I just use a regular account. It seems that I don't remember my password. Is there something I can do, or do I need to reformat? I would like to get all of my files back before. Okay, two things you can do. If you want to have your files back, you could take the hard drive out of the computer, plug it into another computer using a USB kit that you can plug hard drives with. You'd be able to take all the stuff out and then simply reformat with Windows 10. The other thing that you can do, there's a tool called the NT Offline Password. NT Offline Password. So it is on a weird website, but it looks like this. Offline NT Password and Registry Editor. This, you create a boot disk or a boot USB thumb drive. And with this, you can reset the password to 0. So what it will do is that once it's done, there's no more password. All you have to do is press enter when it asks for the password. And I even believe in Windows 10, I think once it's reset like that, it just starts and goes directly to your desktop. So this is a tool that I've used so many times and at clients. Just need to boot with this, and it's gonna reset your password. No problem. Hope that answers your question. Denny Blumel says thanks for the great videos, and he says that he set an HP J72 aside, maybe for later. He's got a new Dell Inspire 2350, 8 gigs RAM, 1 terabyte drive, touchscreen, and Windows 8.1. He's in San Juanico, little town in Querétaro, Mexico. So wow, nice to have a Mexican viewer. And so he is happy to, thanks to my my advice, he's upgraded his computer to Windows 10. And he says, apart from a few little glitches, everything was quite right. And really, really nice. So cool. And thanks for the congrats. For those that didn't see the video, we've reached a milestone this week. 8 million views, 22,000 subs, and still counting. It's really, really nice. Channel is really, really going well. So congrats on the upgrade, my friend. Nice to have you watching the show. Hope that you have a great time. So, okay, here we have questions, random questions. We have Francis. Francis says that he's got a weird problem. He's got a desktop computer, which is a Core i5, and when he's bought a brand new Radeon graphics card, he puts it in the graphic card slot, which is PCI Express probably. He says that when he puts it there, it doesn't do anything. The computer starts up, but doesn't do anything. No beeps, nothing. He says that he took the graphic card and went to a friend's house. They installed it on his computer, which is an older computer. And he said, computer starts, graphic card seems to work fine. I don't know what to do. You know what? There are few cases that I've seen of people with graphic cards that weren't, for some reason, just weren't compatible with their machines. Make sure that it's well inserted. Make really, really sure that you've pushed down on the card, that it's well inserted, seated into the slot. Are you replacing a onboard graphics adapter? If that is the case, what you might need to do is go into the BIOS of your machine. You might have to say to the BIOS, don't use the external display. On some machines, when the external display is on, that card that you put in that slot doesn't work. So make sure that if you've transferred and plugged in the card, make sure that there's nothing wrong there. That put back the wire on the internal card if it's the case. Maybe it's not an internal card. I don't have a lot of information from what you give here. One of the things also that I would check, be careful to make sure, because some cards do require a lot of power and they have a power connector on it. I've had one, a very, very powerful card, and what I had to do is take one of the power connectors that was left in my computer that I could use and plug it in on the card because it required more power, and that the PCI Express slot didn't have enough juice to power the card itself. So be careful with that. But you know what? There's a possibility that card, and for some reason the chipset in your computer might have a glitch, just doesn't want to work. Make sure you got the latest BIOS. Upgrade your BIOS. Make sure you got the latest. And good luck on that. I hope that works fine. We've got Robert Stack that is asking me, I've got a Core i3 laptop. I find it a little slow. A friend of mine says, hey, why don't you upgrade the CPU? Can it be done? On the laptop, no. CPUs on laptops are usually soldered on the board. Nothing you can do about it. You'll have to keep your laptop as it is. Sorry, but upgrades aren't possible on a laptop. And finally, he's got a second question, and he says that his wife's laptop is about 8 years old, and he says that the screen is increasingly dim, and it seems that even though he plays with the laptop's settings for increasing the brightness, it seems that they're maxed out at a very dim setting. What can be done about that? You know what? That's the problem of the laptops, aging laptops. The neon, because today we have LED or LED displays. So these LED displays usually stay bright pretty much all time. But the older laptops have a kind of a neon light. And that neon tube, or that mini neon light that you use, it actually suffers from a problem, is that when you use your computer a lot, it dims over time. I see it here with my old MacBook and my old Toshiba laptop. They are both about 9 years old, 8, 9 years old, and they suffer from a dim display. You know what? You'd have to replace the display itself, which will cost you a lot of money, and for an old computer like that, it's not worth it. One thing you could do, if using it at a fixed place can be a solution, you could just put it on a table in a fixed place and buy yourself an external screen. That would fix it. But if you want to keep it mobile, unfortunately, it's the display's dimming and probably just going away. So that's for sure. As for GT service, nope, I've not gone yet to your question about cams. Tim Robinson says graphics card doesn't work. Tim says I have this too. I've sent the card off for testing and it came back with no fault. After further testing at home, I realized my PCI Express slot was not working. The board was only a few months old. Doubtful, but entirely possible. Yeah, you know, everything is possible. And that's why, you know, if that graphics card, if you are using the internal display that's on the motherboard and never had used the PCI Express port, it's not impossible that it could be a fault there. That's something possible, of course. So you know, it's unfortunate. There's a lot of stuff that that can happen with these computers. One question I will answer right now from Steve Martin in Milton, near Milton, Ontario. He says that he's giving me screenshots of something talking about, you know, Windows 10 Insider preview, and he's actually checking out the Yahoo teams that haven't worked in the last 5 or so Insider versions. And this is what I get: no background picture and graphics aren't right. So he wants to know basically what can be happening. Is there somewhere I can let Microsoft know and send them screenshots or videos? Yep, you've got the feedback hub. The feedback hub is for the insiders. So when you're on your Windows 10 Insider preview, the feedback hub is available. You can type feedback and create a new basically simply create a new feedback in which you will explain your problem. Now, here's the thing. I suspect that the problem you're having is with maybe Yahoo, that would need to update something or change something to its the way it's doing its backgrounds like this on the themes that you use. So it could be, you know, that the problem might not be that Windows 10 has a problem. The problem might be that Windows the technology in Windows 10 has changed to a point where the Yahoo teams are unable to work in that new environment. So the question would probably be more, if I had a guess about the problem you're having, I tend to send an email or try to contact Yahoo with that problem more than I would do so with Microsoft. Because the thing is, Microsoft is maybe not the problem here. So when you're on the feedback, you've got to add new feedback button. So simply click that, put the title about your Yahoo Teams not working, and put the information there. You might have responses from other users with the same problem as you. And in that way, you'll let them know also that you have a problem like that. But like I've said, I wouldn't be surprised if the problem lies on the Yahoo side, and maybe Yahoo needs to update the way they're doing the themes so that it works with new technologies that are in Windows 10. So, and Steve, as many of you are sad that I'm taking a vacation, but believe me, it's to come back in force and have even more interesting stuff coming your way. Questions coming in from Zach. Zach says, hey, I love your shows, been following your videos for the past few months now. Here are some of the questions I got. The first question he's got is, are we getting near Redstone 1? He says, I'm hearing anniversary update, but I'm not hearing Redstone 1. What's happening? Anniversary update for Windows 10 is Redstone 1. So everybody that, because for a long time we had the code name Redstone, that's the anniversary update for Windows 10. It is coming July. So it will be 1st of July already on Friday. So starting this week, we're about a month, maybe less than a month away from Redstone 1, or what is the anniversary update. That's all it's called. So that's where we're at. He says, whatever the name, if Redstone is anniversary update, what's its release date? No official date. No official date yet. But we know that it's in July, and it's probably going to be close to July 29th. So I would expect, anywhere from July 15th to July 29th, somewhere in there, we're going to have that anniversary update. Finally, in your last question, just to be clear, I know that it's probably that, but I want you to tell me my machines that I've upgraded to Windows 10. I've upgraded with the free version of Windows 10. So if I understand things correctly, Windows 10 on my machines is going to stay free after July 29th, and I will be able to reinstall it free afterwards. So yeah, you understand it correctly. It's going to be what is changing on July 29th. People that have not upgraded will have to pay for their Windows 10. People that have upgraded will have a free Windows 10 forever. You'll be able to install in 2 years, and as long as it was activated on your machine, it's going to work out. So no problem about that. So you're watching the Live Tech Show number 39, our last show for this season. We're going to come back, of course, as I was mentioning last week, just to let everybody know. Next show will be in August, and it will be mid-August. August 16th is when we're coming back with our live shows, and we hope to be back better than ever with some improvements. And of course, we'll have lots of news. There's going to be a lot of new stuff happening when I come back in August and September. I'm going to have a website. I'm going to have a lot of stuff happening. So, we'll check it out. So August 16th is when we're coming back for those that are watching the Live Tech Show. So this is coming from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And of course, not too bad. It was raining real hard. At the beginning of the show, I was scared because there was a lot of thunderstorms coming through, that maybe the feed would drop. But yeah, everything everything held, and now even the sun seems to be coming out. Questions that arrived today. We have GT service and or Wood Beast. And the question that he has is, I have a decent used computer and would like to turn into a home security type for webcams only. Are there any? Are these wireless cameras decent and work well? I want not wires, just wireless, like 3 webcams. Do you recommend any? Yeah, you know what? A friend of mine that has a bar, karaoke bar here, not far, he installed Nest cams, and they are amazing. The quality is so good. It's real HD. And to give you an idea, well, I was looking at his screen in his office, and somebody with his smartphone was doing something, and you can almost read what was on the smartphone because of the high quality of these. So he uses Nest. I did take a look at Nest. The only problem, it seems that you have to pay for a service when you use these cameras that are like $200 each. So these are full HD cameras. So I know that Logitech has some also. You know what? The thing you need to check is the you know how good they are. So if they're 1080p or 720p, you also need to be careful to know what's the frame rate of the images. So maybe you can take a look at the Nest ones. It's the only ones that I know of that I've seen working hands-on, and boy, they are of amazing quality, I can tell you that. So you know, take a look at PC World. I've seen, I think it's PC World. Let me just check out here. Wireless cams 2016. There's a article. Yeah, check out 2 articles. Simply Google best wireless cams 2016. 2 things will pop up, or even 3. You have the first one will be PC Mag, which is PC Magazine, best home security cameras of 2016. It looks interesting. The second one is from CNET, best security cameras of 2016. And finally, best wireless home security cameras 2016, indoor, outdoor, and that's from Tom's Guide. So check that out. These are the cameras that they are talking about. Here, if I look quickly, there's Netgear wireless cameras, Nest Cam. You know, on almost all the best cameras I've seen, Nest Cam seems to be really popular. So check it out. There's Belkin, there's Netgear, Nest Cam. You also have Logitech's. Check it out. And some of these have amazing images, I can tell you that. So what else do we have here? Thanks for all the tips and tricks. Continue your great work. We have Peter Sargent talking about the holidays are coming, watching his Easy Top. At the BBC iPlayer, check it out. Gems like Muse, Coldplay. I love Muse and Coldplay. These 2 groups I love, and so on. So he's having a lot of fun with that. Cool. Best wishes also, Peter. Thanks for all of you out there that actually has told me what you know, that have a great summer, have a great time, and it's fun to see that you all are really happy, and that I'll be back, of course, and that I'll you know, hopefully have great shows. Another question here by Patrick Padus. I have a simple question. Why blue screen and what it does? It's always hardware failure. Blue screens are not only for hardware failure. Blue screens is basically a way of exiting. What happens when you have a blue screen in your Windows computer? It's simply that you just got thrown out of Windows. Windows doesn't exist anymore. All you have is when that happens, the computer automatically exits into a thing that is kind of a safety mode, and it displays a blue screen. Now, blue screens can appear for tons of reasons. It's not just hardware. You can have blue screens with software crashing. But when you do get a blue screen, what it means is that your Windows operating system completely stopped working. It completely crashed. It can't continue doing anything. And now you get to a blue screen. And you know what? It can crash to a point that you can even sometimes not even see a blue screen. It's just going to restart the computer, and you won't even see that it happened. But the blue screen is kind of the safety net. You know, it's like, okay, something went really bad. Let's go into this screen and give details if possible, because the blue screen, what is interesting with that, it gives details of where it crashed. So it can help you maybe pinpoint where it crashed and fix whatever problem. Sometimes it's hardware, sometimes it's purely software. It could be, I've seen, for example, blue screens with the viruses, badly programmed viruses that would make the computer crash. So it gives you an idea of, how bad, it's just software sometimes that create it. But technically, it's a sign that something's wrong somewhere. Once again, like I said, it could be a software, it could be something you've installed, a piece of software that's creating some kind of conflict. Of course, bad drivers are often blue screens. And yes, bad hardware can also have blue screens, but it doesn't mean that it's just hardware. It could be anything inside Windows that's crashing. Thanks for your question, Patrick. Hope that it answered well. Tim Robinson, I have known for some time that it is possible to overclock a monitor to gain extra frames per second in games. I was toying with this idea as mine is only 60 Hz monitor at 1 millisecond refresh rate. Problem I have is I really don't want to ruin my monitor. There are quite a few forums about this, and the results are very mixed. What is your take on it? Perhaps once some of your gaming customers have tried this. Thank you. I've never seen anyone overclock his monitor. And one of the reasons why it's very limited and why you should do it is just remember one thing. Your brain cannot see faster. Your eyes and your brain cannot see faster than a certain number of images a second. Now, 60 Hertz is the refresh rate, okay? So a 60 Hertz monitor, okay, in your case means that the scan from top to bottom of the image is done 60 times a second. And that keeps the image there. That's the scan of the image of what's happening. So you say, okay, I want to play a game and I'd be able to reach 80 frames per second. Of course, at 80 frames per second, you've got 60 refreshes. You won't be able to see 80 frames per second because there's 60 refreshes in a second here. You'll typically see, even if you have 100 frames per second in a game, it's going to show up 60 frames here because you're 60 Hertz. Why I don't think it's something you should do. First of all, these devices are not well suited for overclocking. A computer overclock, it's possible because you can tweak the computer, add fans, add cooling that will make it work better. But the problem is that the monitors And the electronics in general like this are not at all done in thinking it's going to overclock. So you could seriously have something break in the electronics because you're asking it to do something it was not meant to. The other thing is, and that's probably the most important on my answers here, is think about your eyes and your brain at 60 hertz. It's pretty much the maximum that they can process. So your brain and your eyes will not see something that refreshes 100 times a second. You won't notice anything because your brain and your eyes cannot work at that speed. That's not how it works. Our eyes are actually rather slow in scanning. The reason why we don't notice it is because there's a phenomena that is the image kind of is retained there for a few milliseconds. And that prevents us from kind of seeing that there's a flaw in our vision. So, you know what? Going over 60 hertz or 60 frames per second in general won't help and isn't something that's, really useful. I don't think it's worth it to, I understand because as a gamer, frame rates, something that everybody's checking out and just say, wow, I want to have a frame rate that's, but in reality, don't go crazy over that because you won't see a difference, even if you would be able to do so. And it's kind of much more complex to overclock a screen than a computer. Yes, I did check GT Service, your Wheat Beast channel. Pretty cool. Really loved it. Really loved it. I can tell you that. Do you make a living doing this only on YouTube, or do you also have customers local? With your knowledge, you should. What are your hopes for future plans to succeed? Okay, here's the thing. I am a tech guy and have clients and have been, I'm self-employed and I've been, fixing computers for 16 years now. Now, the thing is, I'm tired of doing that. I'm not tired of computers and stuff like that. I'm just that after 16 years, I'm a little tired of that. I still have and retain the best of my clients. All the clients that are really the good clients that I always loved doing. So I've kept several hundred clients that call me regularly for all sorts of jobs. For example, yesterday I had 2 clients. Tomorrow I got 3 clients. So I do some tech jobs around town. My main income right now is divided as about 65, 60, let's say 60% YouTube, 40% tech guy. And that worked through the time. So to give you an idea, I started doing YouTube stuff about 5 years ago. Of course, at that time, 100% of my income was tech guy duties. As time went through and I started making more money with YouTube monetization, I've slowed down the tech guy stuff, mostly by eliminating the crazy clients, the ones that are just so problematic and that you just don't want to fix their computers anymore. Mostly that. And of course, I stopped advertising because for the 16 years that I was, for at least 12, 13 years, I was, of course, advertising everywhere. So I had always new clients all the time. As my YouTube money increased, I've lowered my tech guy jobs. And what the future that I want, no more tech guy duties by going to fix computers and doing live shows, doing you know, all sorts of content online that people would enjoy seeing. And of course, finding a way to monetize that in a way that everybody can enjoy it. And I can, of course, have a good living, a nice living with it. Live shows are very demanding. And videos also, you know, if I post 6 or 7 videos in a day, you got to think about the fact that I did take a lot of time to do that in the day. And for those that don't know, I've got many YouTube channels. So sometimes I will post 4 videos on my Windows channel, 4 videos on my radio channel, 3 videos on my Android channel, 2 videos on another channel. And it's like at the end of the day, I've probably done 15 videos or 20 videos. And of course, if I do that, I'm not doing tech guy duties. So I'm not having an income from there. I have to get my income from here. So it's about 60-40 right now. 60% of my income from doing these things, 40% from my tech guy duties. And nice, I had a nice little, you know, regular income from donations. Like I was saying, you know, donations are important. And there are a few people out there that help me with donations quite regularly. So it's pretty cool for that also. But I need to, of course, improve. I want to have more stuff. I want to be able to make a really good living out of it. I don't want to be rich. I'm not a guy that wants to be a millionaire. Of course, if I do get a millionaire, I won't say no to being a millionaire. But I simply want to have a great living doing what I love, which is doing this. That's mostly the thing. Thank you, Stephen Mail, saying have a great vacation. Sent proudly from Windows 8.1 and Windows 10 and Windows Vista. You know, that's cool. I like, you know, that's the kind of spirit that I like. Playing around with computers, having different operating system, going through different operating system, reformatting, trying Linux, trying different versions of Windows. That's cool. You know, it's the fun side of computers, and you know, it's nice to be a computer hobbyist. Computer hobbyist is cool, and you know, computers is part of my life with a lot of stuff that I like to do also. So it's pretty cool. So hey, everyone, thanks for being here. And well, we'll be off now for what, about 6-7 weeks. Next show, August 16th. Remember that. Tuesday, August 16th, we will have the return of the live tech shows answering your questions. So we'll be at number 40, August 16th. We'll have the return of Learn the Tech. That's going to be interesting because I'll be able to do several Learn the Tech, prepare several of them before, so I'll have a more regular rhythm of, you know, live tech show answering your questions and Learn the Tech. And we'll have new stuff. I'm checking out. We'll have a website. We'll have all sorts of little things to try to boost everything, boost the views. I'm thinking of probably maybe buying some online advertisement to see if I can bring a lot more people to what I do. You know, it's pretty nice. You know, every day I do get a good amount of views, but it could be much more. You know, there are billions of views a day of stuff on the web. So let's try to get more people into the live shows and more people into what I do. I'm thinking also one of the things I want to do for this fall, this setup is going to be changed for something that looks more like a more professional setup. And one of the things I want to do is instead of having my news bulletins posted like I'm doing now, I might be hosting a live news bulletin every day. So instead of posting it, you know, it's going to be posted, of course, on YouTube as usual, but it's going to be different because I'll have probably like a live news bulletin. It's going to be a little more interesting, more interaction, and you know, stuff coming up. So hope everybody enjoys for sure all of that. Sean Robinson, hey there, loving your videos. As always, watch your technology news videos each day. Just curious as to what steps should I take to prepare my laptop for the big update from Microsoft, and will the update be safe? Technically, the anniversary update should be safe for everybody, but you know what? It's going to be a big update. It's going to be like reinstalling Windows. You know, when you installed Windows 10 and you saw that little circle with, 10%, 15%, 20%, it's going to be an update as big as that. It's going to be a refresh of your computer. So if you're talking about what you could do, for what steps you can take to be ready, just make sure that everything that is very important to you is backed up. Back up all of your files and folders that are very, very important that you don't want to lose. If you prepare like that, then you know what? Upgrade. And for most people, it should go quite well. You know what? Look at the insider previews. In the last, we had problems before, but in the last 3 or 4 updates, I've had no issues at all. It updated real well. And I think for most people, it's going to work real well also. But, back up your stuff. And having a backup, even when you're not going to update, even if you don't do anything, is anyway something that everybody should have. But back up your important files, and I think it should go quite well. Can tell you that. GT Service says, thanks for being honest. Bad customers are a nightmare. So you like doing videos, not tech guy duties. Well, it's not that I don't like the tech guy duties. It's just that for some reason, after 16 years, I've gone to a point where I'm a little tired of the tech guy duties stuff. I don't know. It's just that I don't know. For many years, my tech guy duties were like, I wake up at 9 in the morning, I go to my tech guy duties, and I come back home at 9 or 10 in the evening. Very, very long days. Anyone that wants to be a tech guy, that's good. One thing you got to consider is that you can really work long hours and, work Monday to Saturday. And I was happy at the beginning. It was really cool. I came from, a job where I was working 9 to 5 and that I was finding extremely boring. And for a while, that was cool. A lot of money was coming. I was racking in the cash, and it was like, this is cool. But you know what? When I started doing live stuff, when I started doing videos, and I could see that, you know what? I can wake up in the morning, stay in my underwear. Sorry for the image that it gives here, but stay in my underwear with my coffee and post videos. Now, you guys are all going to have this weird image of me now when I post new videos, especially when it's early in the morning. But what I mean by that is you just relax at home. You look at people outside going crazy because of the traffic and everything. And that I enjoy more. Of course, if something would happen and I would not have this anymore, I'll go back as being a tech guy. I still prefer to being a tech guy and fix computers than going to a 9 to 5 boring job. But I love this more, and I love the fact that I can stay home, work from home, and especially in the winter time with the snowstorms and the cold weather, it's really cool, and it's cool to do this also. It's something fun, so that's for sure. And he says, Tim Robinson says, have a great one. Thank you very much. Congratulate Steve Mail for me. Take care and best wishes, buddy. Take care, Tim. Always nice to have you on board. Take care, everyone that's watching. It was really, really cool to have everybody here. And I'm going to just say, have a great, great, great summer. a great month of July. I'll try to enjoy myself a little more, take more time to do stuff that I love, that I've been kind of not doing really lately because I have too many things going together. And see you all in the return August 16th, 2016. So bye everyone. See you in 6, 7 weeks. Take care. And thanks for being there. It's always cool.